for everything to kick in. I got to wait for YouTube's working. Zuckerberg's dragging his heels because it's what he does. There we go. There we go. We are up and running. We are back. It is coffee with a capper, although I've called it latte with a liter. We've called it macchiato with a mega. Macchiato with a mega? I think.
Yeah, you used that at one point.
And then we're heavy with the alliteration. So it's Nespresso with a networker because you spend more time out in the wild talking to people. I would put you and maybe Melissa Lesniak on the toe-to-toe business, which is pretty cool. So we do have the Terry Lajoie here. Bradley Kelly's here. They deliver coffee with a capper and all of its iterations. And yet nobody's ever gotten a cup of coffee from Brad. Though he does, if you've ever been anywhere in our geographic footprint for a class or an event, he's definitely fed you.
Absolutely.
And if you're smart enough to be around when he says, hey, want to go get lunch? He's probably fed you and watered you. And I'm going to say watered you because if you go to lunch with Brad, it's not water. Anyway, so Brad Kelly, Movement Mortgage, if you have never given him and his team an opportunity to help you, there's a word for that. It starts with a D. There's a Z in here, but I'm going to say it phonetically. ZUM. That's just a ZUM idea. You should be letting Brad help you and your clients. Everybody has their preferred lender. Good for you. You should have more than one. And Brad Kelly's right down the hall. I'm going to quote the Ryan Pettigrew on this one. Brian Pettigrew was talking about the fact that he had Jenny Kopp from 4 Points, Bradley Kelly from Movement Mortgage, and our friend Ryan Collins from HBO. And he's like, why would you not use 3 people that are invested in our company 37 feet apart from each other, and they all know each other? He said they are the smoothest transactions. My client was over the moon, and yet we've got people within our ecosystem. I'm staring at you, bumping off the walls, looking for a good lender. He's right down the hall. It's 603. Get out a sharp crayon. 603-396-3198. Brad Kelly, Movement Mortgage. Now that I've pumped your tires, as they say in hockey talk, and he plays hockey on weeknights too.
Last night.
So if Brad looks tired, it's because he's tired. And then he's going to Disney with the kids. And is it just you and the wife?
No.
Are you doing adult Disney?
No, it's the whole
And
crew.
I didn't mean that in any sort of triple X way.
Yeah.
But like everyone who loves Disney, and you. I'm going to throw you the holy triduum of Disney lovers is Boyd Watkins, you, and of course Nathan. And most of the guys and girls I know, they're like, "Oh, it's great with the kids," but if it's just you and the spouse,
yeah, we got that planned for October. Food and wine.
that's the food and wine
Yeah,
thing. That's what Nathan. And, okay, that's the jam. All right,
Yeah.
but so you're leaving this afternoon, tonight-ish?
Yeah, we fly out of Logan at 6:20.
Wonderful, and you're back.
We land in Logan at 11 something Monday night.
Oh, so Tuesday you're going to be.
Oh, and then
Wishing you were still in Disney.
Bring Brielle back to college Tuesday morning because she's got a class at noon.
Oh, she's got a long stretch. Aiden went back last Sunday.
Yeah, no, yeah, they both start Tuesday.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, no,
Is that sad for you when the kids are like we still have our Christmas tree up, Hanukkah bush. I want to be ecumenical. We still have our Christmas tree up, and it's like it still sort of feels like Christmas, and we'll leave it up. We do the Patriots rule. We don't take it down till the Patriots are done playing. We don't say lose, and so usually it's up almost until Valentine's Day. If we play our cards right, you can just.
I'll give you a little bit of like.
Do you have
Tim magic?
You have a real tree, and you
no. My inside stuff's down.
Okay,
but my house where my house sits, I'm like right on the drag for the neighborhood. So,
yes,
and I'm that obnoxious guy that has all the lights and stuff. And we were talking about the lights, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the lights, something about the lights." And Bridget looked at me, my oldest, my 20-year-old, looked at me, and she's like, "Well, those stay on until the Patriots are done."
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. And I think everybody agrees too. It's like, it's the best. Our tree is in the room just outside of our bedroom and off the kitchen. And it's the greatest nightlight ever. And this is the first year, knock on Formica, that our cats haven't decided to be like idiots. I just put that out there now. So they're probably like smoking now and running
They're probably
around
on top of the tree.
Yeah. Janina's probably screaming at them right now as I say that. But so it's been pretty phenomenal. But I hate when our oldest goes back to college. Like that's the first domino. I'm like, oh, now it's just winter.
Yeah.
But it's sunny today. We've got Terry Lajoie, and Brad's got details about lending that we need to know before we go into the weekend.
Yeah, no.
Give us some errant piece of information we can rattle around in our heads for the weekend.
Last week we talked about the announcement with the government purchasing mortgage-backed securities again, which kind of led to, a slight improvement in the rates that day. They went back the other way. And I will tell you, I'm hoping they're not buying them yet because their rates have not been going in the right direction over the last week for us. So hanging tight, hoping that they'll come down. I mean, love to see that 5 on the front. I think that'd make a big difference for all of us. But yeah, just plugging away, still in the 6s and living the dream. And
would you say if somebody's on a 30 and they're pristine credit, they're still a 6 in the front?
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely, no, right now it's getting beat up a little bit, but it's a long weekend on a Friday, which usually leads to like some conservativeness with money, especially with everything going on in the world right now. The powers that have all the cash have the ability to say like, take their ball and go home, especially with a long weekend, and then reinvest it come Tuesday. So we'll, it's not a great day for the rate world right this second, but I think, you're still in the 6s right now. I mean, the 7s for other stuff, investor stuff, or like, things of that nature. There's all the stuff still out there too. So DSCR, land, like bank statement programs, any of the funky stuff you need, you got something weird. You're like, oh, my client, like I had one of our agents bring me a couple that was self-employed a year and a half ago, and they were pre-approved to say 300, and they wanted to buy like in the Portsmouth area. And she was like, "This isn't happening." Yeah, and I was like, "Well, let's look at a bank statement program." We'll look at a bank statement program. They now own a $600,000 house, and they're loving life. So there's always a way to skin the cat. You're just got to figure out which way that it is, especially if they're climbing on your Christmas tree, right, Timmy?
Yes. Look at Bradley bringing it around the mountain. Perfect. All right. Again, Brad Kelly and his team, Movement Mortgage, 603-396-3198. He will be in Disney. I would love for you to be forced to run rates for somebody while you're trying to squeeze in your magic hours. Because you're a tactician when you get to Disney.
Yeah. No, it's not unusual though. Like I get calls still. Like we closed a deal about a year ago from somebody that used to work here.
Yeah, you're like, I'm at Epcot. I'm on my fourth country.
I was literally at Hollywood Studios when she called me. I'm I'm in the Walt Disney experience right now, so it's kind of cool. We're trying to get cooled off, and I'm like, let's chat. So she's like, you're ridiculous. I'm like, I know.
Perfect. All right, Terry Lajoie. I think a whole bunch of people at the Market Center know you. You've been with us now for 4 years?
Just about, yeah.
Just about 4 years. High school graduation to this conversation. Like for the people that don't know your story, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Kingston, so not far.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Grew up on the seacoast. I went to Sanborn till I was a junior, and then I switched over to Exeter.
Okay.
So graduated from Exeter. I've lived in Portsmouth, worked at Portsmouth Hospital for 13 years. Lived in Dover, lived in Rochester, lived in Greenland. So yeah, all around the seacoast. I know the seacoast pretty well.
Yeah.
Love it here.
Yep. And so working at hospitals until when?
Early 90s, like 92.
Okay.
And then I was a software engineer for 9 years.
That explains so many things.
Much, right?
Yeah.
You just mean the engineer part, right?
Well, first career was accounting. Second career was software engineer. So that explains a lot of why I'm system and spreadsheet driven.
Yeah, and I say this as a term of endearment. If somebody's insulted, good for you. You're super dorky. Like you dork out on the numbers.
I do.
Yeah, which is good because we should know
I'm
those.
One of the few people that actually has tracked all of my numbers for over a decade.
Where is that? What cloud do you trust the most?
So I use CTE, which is Commit to Excellence.
I love that you're using that. Just real quick, if people don't know what that is, it's CTE Biz. So CTE, Commitment to Excellence, biz.com. It was created by Calvin Mergen. He was an MCA in Wisconsin. He's busy not doing that now. And it's basically an Excel spreadsheet.
Massive Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. It's an Excel spreadsheet with a lot of frosting on it. It's aesthetically pleasing, but if you dork out on Excel spreadsheets, it's got everything you could possibly need. If you are a rainmaker with a team, there's a mobile component that they can throw on their phone. So if people can report from the roadside, it all goes to the cloud and there's real-time data input with lead and lag indicators. Do you suck on Friday at 5 o'clock or are you kicking ass and taking names on Friday at 5 o'clock? So CTE is available to everybody at the Market Center. If you go there, At the top, it'll say my broker / coach pays for this, and just click that. Keller Williams, Market Center 463, which actually in the questionnaire right now, I don't think they're asking for Market Center,
I don't think so.
but you could probably pop that in there. But he should identify you as one of our agents, and they'll send you the 2026 version.
And it's so cool because you can go in and create your business plan. And it takes me about 5 minutes to create my business plan. It tells me exactly what I need to do to hit my goals, right down to how many contacts I have to make every day, every week, every month.
Yeah.
And it tracks everything.
Well, and cautionary tale there, you're able to get that data point out of it because you're putting conversion rates in.
Correct.
So until you're tall enough for the ride that you're able to tell the story of here are my conversion rates.
Yes.
You could use, I'm not perfect and I'm not 50-50. You could throw in 75% until it starts to mash it out for you.
Correct.
But without those conversion rates, it's like, that's like when kids come in here and they're like, so how many calls do I have to make, Timmy? I'm like, you just got here. And I don't know how tenacious you are. So let's give it 6 months.
A lot.
Yeah. And I'm never going to be the one that tells you what your conversion rates are. You're going to. But you have to track.
And one of the things I do is I readjust every quarter. So I look at what my conversion rates are for last year, and that's where I start. And then at the end of first quarter, I readjust. Second quarter, I readjust. And I do that all throughout the year so that I know what I need. And the numbers that I was putting up last year through Fight Club and Midday Protocols, I ended up with over 6,000 contacts last year.
Wow.
And my average was, I think, 594 per month. That was my average monthly.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we go off the top of
contacts.
our heads, we're talking 500 a month. So you're doing 125 a week-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't live on the phones.
Yeah, that's what's ridiculous. We're gonna get to that. Sorry. So we're doing some engineering. We did some hospital stuff. You did some banking. When do you finally get to the point where you're like, maybe real estate makes sense?
So I was working as a software engineer. As a software engineer, I was working 80 plus hours a week, sometimes 100 plus, and I was getting paid for 40. I decided that I wanted to invest. You're gonna laugh. I'm gonna age myself here. I was up sick one night in the middle of the night, 2:00, and I saw an infomercial for Carlton Sheets. I still have the program. It's still sitting on my shelf right behind my desk. And I bought it. And I went through that program, decided I wanted to invest. And it was right before the last recession. Yeah. Kind of a hot market like we have now where everything would come on the market and go off and everybody was outbidding everyone. And I started noticing that there were a lot of real estate agents buying real estate. And so I said, well, if I can't beat them, I'll join them. And then they told me I had to sell. I'm like, I've never sold anything in my life. I sit behind a desk with headphones and a keyboard. Yeah. And I write code that nobody else understands. Yeah. And now you want me to sell. Okay. Got a referral. My first deal, I sold a condo and helped them buy a new construction. It was, until about 2 years ago, the most expensive sale in that complex. There were 3 others in my office in that complex that didn't sell. Mine sold in a day for the highest price that's ever sold in there, with the kitchen ceiling down and plastic over the cabinets. And everybody went, that's beginner luck. Yeah, yeah. True. We had somebody that came up from Massachusetts, and it happened to be when the broker tour was going through. So there was about 30 people in the house at the time that this buyer saw it. And they were like, oh my God, there's going to be a bidding war on this. And so they gave us full price and we sold it. Very cool. So that was my first deal.
And where did you start? What brokerage? Because you've been with Keller. You were at Keller out Western New Hampshire. Not Western New Hampshire, but everything west of 95 is Western New Hampshire.
So I started at a small company. It was Carlson GMAC, and they've been gone for quite a while. I was there, and they wanted to implement a rule that I couldn't live with. And I did 19 deals my first year. So I would have been Rookie of the Year for the company.
For sure.
But, and I got my license in April, actually went full-time in July, and I closed 19 deals my first year.
Good for you.
I was hustling, but I was single, and I owned a house, and I had to pay the bills. Yeah. There's no greater motivation than that.
Did you have 16 cats at that point, or was that later?
I had one.
Well, just the one.
Just one.
Just the one.
I had my teddy bear back then.
Yep.
Yep. So, so I went from there to the Balloon. So I was at Remax for, I was there for about 9 years. and then I came over to Keller Williams.
Mhm.
I left for about a year, just almost a year exactly. I went to EXP for a year and then came back.
Yeah.
And I'm way too Kellerized. I love Keller. I'm here for life now.
Yeah. Well, and our friends over at Expensive, I won't use their real name because I don't want to breach ethics. Our friends over at Expensive would tell you that, it's basically KW. It's just their version of it because, and clearly you came back. Yeah.
I did.
So, what were, you probably saw them trying to emulate things, but what was the thing that was missing to you?
The people.
Yeah. Okay.
They have everything, but it's all online. And that just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's not a bad system. I have nothing bad to say about the company. It's a good company. I just like being able to pick up the phone and talk to my broker.
Yeah.
And pick up the phone and get help when I need help, whatever that help is.
Sure.
And I love the in-person training and the education.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so much education and training from Keller Williams. It's crazy. So.
So when you say they're online, you mean you jump on and learn as you go?
Yeah,
Because obviously a lot of the stuff that you're doing with us, because you live in the Nashua area, everything is hybrid for you almost, except for a day like today. But ironically, today you came to the market center, then jumped online and talked to the kids that were remote, and now we're here doing this.
I didn't even realize that. You said that was remote. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, because we're digital because we had commercial in the training room. So, but it just, I was just clarifying. So rather than having, they were like, okay, so go to the internet and there's this learning portal and learn as you go.
Well, they do have that.
Yeah.
But they also have this portal that you can go to, and it's social, it's educational, it's talk to the broker. Like everything is online in that portal. I just couldn't find what I needed when I needed it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And that's a me thing.
Yeah.
That's not a them thing. I just, at the time, my business was busy and I didn't have time to go look for things.
Yeah.
And my catalyst, just being honest, was I needed to do a referral. And they had a portal for it. I spent 4 hours trying to find the portal to give a referral. And I grabbed the paper form and I filled it out and I was done. And I made a phone call after that.
Yeah.
I wasted the 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that, again, that's a me thing. That's not a company thing.
Oh, sure. I mean, they've clearly got their raving fans, as every brokerage does. Gary said when COVID hit, Gary said, be clear on the fact that the humans in the coming months and years, as we get into this new market, they're going to sacrifice value for convenience. Mm-hmm. And he said, we're going to win because we'll deliver both. And we fall on our face every day trying to do both here, but we're just trying to create, and all these cameras and microphones for me and what I do is because we've got kids all over a massive footprint. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of coaches and TLs will see me at stuff and like, we shut all of our stuff off and we're forcing them back into the market center. We'd be closed if we did that. Mm-hmm. As good as that feels, we'd be closed if we did that because we had so many people join us in that window.
Right.
This is all they know. And there was a tipping point for why they joined us. Like, oh my God, I can do everything from the couch almost.
Right.
With mittens.
Or you can come here.
Yeah. 4,000%. So it's just interesting. So you decided to come back to Keller.
I did.
And that was when you made the move here?
Yes.
Okay. So who was the first person that you knew here that wasn't part of like staff or leadership? You must have known people obviously because you were doing deals all through the state and stuff like that. Like who was the attraction point for you to come play here?
Nate.
Okay. God. I was trying to get you to say any other name.
So Christian Scott was.
Thank you. Yes. But we this is live. We're not going to edit, but in my heart, I'm going to edit that out. Yes, Christian Scott. Thank you. Perfect.
But Nate was the first person I ever met from this company.
Of course, I get it.
And
he's the reason we're all here. So, like, if we're being honest, yes.
And Nate's awesome. I love him. Christian had come here previously and had nothing but good things to say.
Yep.
And I talked to him a little bit.
Yep.
But the reality was I called, I left him, I knew what I was doing. I had already made the decision.
Yeah.
I called and I left a message for Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a very interesting phone call back because when he called me back, I didn't say what it was. I just said, hey, can you call me? And when he called me back, he's like, look, he goes, I appreciate the phone call, but if this is a recruit the recruiter, I'm not interested. And I replied back to him, and we both had a good chuckle.
He had preferential parking. He loved it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I replied back to him and I said, this is the phone call that you always dream of that you never get.
Yes. This
And
is
he went,
this is a come list me. I have a house I would like to sell, and you were the realtor I chose.
yes.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, okay. And we
Yeah.
booked an appointment. I came in and I met with him and signed my contracts that day.
Fantastic. All right.
The decision was already made.
Yeah, and even geographically, obviously, we're not the closest brick and mortar
Nope.
or ownership group for you. But going back to Nate, what was it about him that differentiates him from other people? Other brokerages, other market centers, because we'll pick on the other market centers. I have no problem with that.
So it was just really, I had met him right before I was starting my team. And he was kind enough to give me some time and kind of give me some insight into what that really meant, because I had no clue. It's
Sure.
like when you get your real estate license, you're like, oh, I've got a license, and you have no idea what that actually means. It's the same thing starting a team. You say, oh, I'm going to start a team. This looks really
It's going to
cool.
start grabbing heartbeats. It's going to be great. Everybody's going to love it. They're all going to uphold my standard.
So yeah, I talked to him and had seen him at different events and things like that. And he always recognized me. He always was nice and talked to me and stuff like that, which was great. And one of the things I wanted was to be able to teach.
Yeah.
That's an important piece for me. I love to give back. I love to help newer agents and teach them. And that's a huge piece for me. And I can do that here.
Yep. So for you, for your business, what was the first, because you're coming in, you've been in the Keller ecosystem before. What was the biggest change you made coming to our market center and sort of hitting the reset button?
Being remote.
Okay.
I had always had an office to go to prior to this. And when I had my first closing, my brain short fired. It was just like, what did I do? I had a check in my hand and I'm like, I'm not going to the office. How do I get this check there?
Don't give it to Brad.
No.
Different story.
Brad, this is the phone call you always wanted. I've got an escrow check and I want you to deposit it. Bradley, James, cash.
So so there's been some little things, but now I just drop the check in the mail, or some of the title companies will send it out, or they'll wire it to the office or send e-checks. There's all different ways of getting a check here.
Yeah.
But that was the stuff that really kind of made me go, oh, okay, this is
a little different. Yeah.
But you work through those things, and being able to teach and take classes here, the contracts classes, incredible. I don't get there as often as I would like to, but the education here, because I'm big on education for myself and for others, the education is a huge piece. It really is. And there's always education. There's always training, whether it's online, it's in person, there's always stuff going on.
Yep. So the escrow check was like one of those, oh, this is different, I got to figure this out.
Correct.
What's one of the things you were most excited about implementing being at home? Because I was just having the conversation with Bradley before you got here. I know 92,000% of agents work from home, and I would argue as a coach, they would work better from an office. Like, and you could agree right now, you're having you had a killer 25, you're going to light 26 on fire, and like you get the stink on you when you get in here. There's just a little bit more. So what do you do to hold yourself to account when it's just you and you could be like, I'm just going to stare at the wall, go for a walk in the backyard, talk to my cats, take a nap. Like
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. There's no other word for it. It's extremely hard. I would love to have an office here. In fact, I was thinking this morning, wouldn't it be nice just to have a little studio apartment out here? Just because, I could just come here and not worry about weather and that. But it's Fight Club helps. Being able to get on Fight Club, and I'm not on as much as I should be. It's looking at my numbers in CTE on a regular basis. I would say probably 3 times a week, I forecast out where I am for the month. And if I'm not forecasted to be at 600 or 700, I'm not going to hit my 500, even though 250 is the goal. I'm shooting for 500. because if I shoot for 500 or 700, I go past the goal.
Sure. Yes.
And the reality is, all the numbers in the world can tell you you need 250 contacts to hit your goal at the end of the year. BS. Triple it. And you might get close.
Well, I love that you make that point. I feel like back in the Bronze Age, when some of us got started, it was 19 no's to a yes. We always heard 19 no's to a yes. And the conversations I'm having now and the numbers I'm hearing in like productivity coaching breakouts at Mega and Family are top agents. And I say top agents not because they're more talented or they make more money. Agents aren't more talented than each other. Let me finish. They are more systematized.
Correct.
So when we hear from our top agents, because they're giving us data points, it's about 46 to 47 interactions to get to the kitchen table or the conference table. And I know people don't want to hear that on a Friday. I didn't mean to ruin your weekend, but here we are, right? So like, and at the same time, that shouldn't keep you from saying, oh God, so I have to probably have 50 conversations to set an appointment. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. What does your sphere look like? What's your tenacity? Are you willing to stick to it and do it 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, like or more? Gary wants you to do it 25 hours a day.
You asked me that question last year on a call, and I could physically hear the groans of new agents because last year my contact to appointment ratio was 150 to 1. Now, I don't do things the way everybody else does.
Sure.
Which means my numbers are going to be different, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
And I guess that's part of it. You got to figure out what's right for you.
Yes.
Where's your business going to come from? How are you going to go about getting it?
What are you willing to do?
What are you willing to do? And for me, it's network. I network like crazy. It's not uncommon for me to have 4 face-to-faces in a day.
Yep.
Not in a week, but in a day. And so I'm face-to-face with people. I'm involved in the chamber. I'm involved in a referral group, and all of that takes time to convert, and it takes time to build the relationships. And I've been in my referral group. I started the referral group I'm in a year ago.
How dare you?
How dare I? I started it because I couldn't get into the one I wanted to be in. So
Yeah, you know what?
Took my ball and I went home.
Exactly. And so I started it in March of last year. So we're coming up on a year.
Yeah.
I have gotten a couple of referrals for contacts, but not for actual business. And so I've been in the referral group for a year. 3 people have approached me in the last week that said they're thinking about buying a house and they want me to help them. And I had, kind of on a side note, because this is how things work when you just build relationships. I had somebody call me about a week ago and say, I have a strange question. I'm like, okay. They're like, I'm doing my estate over and I'm modifying my trust. Can I put you in there that you're the person to sell my house?
Let's stop real quick. This will be on the quiz at the end of the quarter. That is a client for life.
Yes.
she's in the will. Moses has a 3rd tablet. Wait a minute. Lajoie is going to sell Mount Sinai. Like, wow.
So here's the really cool thing. That person, I've never helped them. They've never been a client of mine.
That's crazy.
They just know who I am. And from all of the networking that I'm doing, they said they don't want anybody else to
They're
sell
on their
house.
deathbed. Water the plants, feed the cats, and call Terry.
And
that's crazy.
It is. And I'm truly honored. It's the first time it's ever happened to me. And so like that's the stuff that happens when you build relationships. And that's what I really want people to hear is the relationship is more important than the number of phone calls you make or the number of emails you send out or the number of transactions you do. I have my 3rd client ever is a dear friend of mine, has been a dear friend of mine for over 20 years now. I have been to weddings. I've been to baby showers. I've been to graduations. I've baptized 2 of them at my church. Like, they're not just a client. They're so much more. And so I'll take my 150 contacts.
I was just going to say your conversion rate the reason you're not like cat gagging when you say that number, because you're like super cool with the process that you get it with. If people, because I think people sound or hear Marcus Catkin, for example, talk about, his envelope stuffing machine. But when you look at the numbers, they're horrifying. And admittedly, he's like, they were to start, because he's like, well, okay, it's like there's a comma involved in his conversion rates, right? Because with all the stuff he's mailing out, you could hear, based on X amount of letters going out, maybe I get 5 hands raised. He's like, but Timmy, then the 5 hands raised, that's a conversation to see who wants to convert to the next step.
Right.
Not just, I got your letter, I'd like to meet you, and we're ready in 7 years. But he's doing it now with that particular medium. He's stuffing so many envelopes. He's got his costs way down, and he's willing to do it.
Right.
Right. So like that's and I'm going to say that word for the rest of forever. Like it doesn't matter. There's a million things. It's in business planning clinic when we get to lead gen. There's a whole page of prospecting, marketing, and hybrid things.
Yes.
That nobody's ever allowed to come to my door and be like, I'm done doing everything. No, you aren't, stupid. Pick something else. Right. And there's no way you could ever tell me you ran out of things to do or try.
No.
But once you find what that thing is, and not just one, right? Even though Gary's got the one thing book, we can't have a one trick pony.
Right.
And I use the networking conversation all the time. And I pick on Melissa Lesniak, like when COVID hit, and for you as a networker, you're like, oh shit. Like suddenly you're in a hazmat suit with a beekeeper hat. You're like, we can't go talk to people. What do we do now? So you've got to have the second, third, and fourth arrow in your quiver that you can trust and you're also comfortable doing. But Gary would say, if networking is your thing, just go do it and keep your foot on their neck. And just keep doing it and intensify it. And you're not looking at it as work. It's just what you do. It's fast twitch muscle. It's effortless and it's fun. Right.
But on the same token, I am calling my past clients. I am going and having coffee with them. I am the resource for them. I saw one of my clients post on Facebook in the town group, and they were looking for contractors. And I texted them like, you having a project done? They're like, yeah. I'm like, do you want a contractor? Yeah. Okay, here you go. My contractor got the call, not all the ones that were in the Facebook group. And that's because they trust me.
Yep.
And most of my clients, and I'm shocked that particular client didn't that time, because they always call me for everything. And that's what I want to be, is the resource for them.
Yeah.
If you need anything, I don't care what it is, call me. I had somebody that moved here from California, and I had said that. And they called, I don't know, 2 or 3 days after the closing. I'm like, is everything okay? And they're like, oh yeah, everything's great. But you said you had all of the resources we need. And I'm like, okay, oh boy. They're like, do you have a pen and paper? I'm like, I do.
Right.
And they had moved here from California. They needed an auto body shop, a mechanic, a dentist, a plumber, an electrician, and a contractor. And I'm like, you just bought a new construction. Why do you need all these contractors? And they're like, oh, well, we're putting another bathroom in for when my mother-in-law visits. Okay. But I gave them all those resources. And when I sold that house for them 10 years later, they were still using all of those resources.
Yep.
And anytime they needed anything in between, they called. And that's what I want. I want to be the person that everybody calls when they need something.
Yeah, our conversations, you're consistently referencing that you're working with somebody and they've got something completely out of pocket. And you've always got, you're like, so then I call Jim or then I call Brad. And like, you're always problem solving. And we're all doing that inherently. But I think when you step back and you look at it through that spectrum, it just makes it make more sense for you.
Right.
And that's your analytical mind from engineering.
Correct.
Like I want to be like you talk to anybody who's successful on the operational side of our business and real estate, all of them are like, oh yeah, just give me the biggest hot mess. They want to fix the stupid. Like you love fixing the stupid, like for most of the salespeople, we're like, here's all the paperwork. And we run screaming to go get lunch with Brad because he waters us. But in the grand scheme of things, like I would never want to deal. I used to always joke, like I'd get back to type a contract. It would take me longer to type the contract than it took me to create the relationship with the person and get the contract. It's just not a good use of my time. But you've made it effortless because you've built that team outside of you. We talk about you being a solo artist at your house,
right?
But your network is so vast
It is.
And it allows you to just help more people. And the conversation is not just about buy, sell, invest. It's about, oh, you need a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. You've got all these people because you created all these relationships.
Correct.
I think people are probably hearing the story and they're like, okay, so she does this and it's perfect and it's effortless. I mean, if we're being honest, and I know you'd be willing to share, like you were fighting for your life over a year ago.
I was.
And you thought you were going to lose everything, not just the business, but like everything. We were at Red Day in Maine at that farm, and I'm on the phone with you, and you had just got out of the hospital or you were checking out. I think you were in the middle of a deal. You were still in your Johnny, but you're like, I'm leaving the hospital. I'm not dead yet, but I need somebody to cover a showing. Do you remember this? And I think, God bless him at the time, I think Lighthall covered the showing, but like it was just crazy at that point.
It was.
How tenacious, as your coach, I'm like, I've got other people that are complaining that, like it's too sunny to do lead gen. And like, you're like, almost died, but I got 4 calls to make to hit my 500.
Well, it's funny hearing you talk. It all comes in full circle though. Cause what was the first thing you said when you got into real estate? You didn't sell.
Right.
So you created a system where you don't have to be a salesman.
Yes.
Yep. That's
very true.
I love that.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Because I'm the same way. I got into sales because of Nate Dickey. Same thing. But I wasn't a sales guy. Like when I met Nate, I was like, oh, I hate salesmen.
I just want to help people.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
I just want to help people.
Oh, he's the most the worst marketing that you'll get from his company is his mouth. And you can't shut him up. But like, Brad brings the circus to town, all the food. There's like bottomless mimosas. He walks up like, Brad Kelly, 603-396-31. Love to help you. And he leaves the room. Right? So underspoken when it comes to his business personality. But then like get him talking about anything else, Disney, whatever, So yeah, but the same thing is surround yourself with great people.
Right.
And then beyond how you're making the connections, when the rubber meets the road, be really good at what you do, which both of you are, which is, goes beyond saying.
And I'm sure, and I'm taking a leap here because I know that was my frame of mind when I kind of started in the sales world, was I needed to feel like what I was providing people wasn't I'm selling you something. It's I'm giving you value. Yeah. And that's, I bet, why you do the way you do the things, is because you're like, oh, I just got paid well to sell this house, which I worked hard to do that. But I also want to justify the idea that I've helped these people and deserved that money.
And it's funny that you say that, because when my business started was right before the recession, and then the recession hit, and I did a ton of short sales.
Right.
Short sales, pre-foreclosures. I would frequently be the 3rd or 4th agent in on a house that hadn't sold in 4 years. And I always ask people one question: what's important to you? Like, what do you want? And I'll never forget, there was this one property owner, and they just were like, sell the house.
That's why we hired you.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And they're like, really? Because 4 other agents couldn't. And the house had literally been on the market for almost 4 years.
Wow.
And I said, okay, well, when do you want it sold? And he's like, is yesterday too soon? I'm like, well, yes.
Chronologically, we're going to have a problem, but yes.
But I said, realistically, when would you like it sold? He goes, 30 days. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I said, do you want it sold in 30 days and closed, or do you want it under contract in 30 days? And this, by the way, I was telling people that I was meeting with that we had 7 years of inventory. If nothing new came on, it was going to take 7 years to sell everything.
Yeah.
That's where we were back then.
Yeah.
And he went, under contract in 30 would be good. And I said, okay, I can do that. He's like, really? Like, you're not buying it all. And I said, you may not like how I'm going to do it. He's like, why? Now he's curious. And I said, the way to do that is the price.
Yes.
You can never underprice a house. But from what I see, the house has been on for 4 years, but really hasn't dramatically changed in price.
It's been marinating in its greatness. Yes.
And the question was, well, what's the price? And I told him the price, and I was...
Doug, I need you to sit down.
I was waiting for something to come flying across the table at me. Instead, he just said, fine. Because the price wasn't what mattered. What mattered was
moving.
the property had to go away.
Yeah.
And I did that several times. And then I realized that the question, what's important to you, was the most important question for any client.
Yep.
Because how can I serve you if I don't know what's important to you?
Right.
And then at that same time, we had the short sale market.
Mm.
The engineer in me said, I can do this. This is a system. And I built the system and I did short sales. I had agents referring engineers to me because they were like, you understand these guys. I'm not working with that engineer. You have them. So they would refer engineers to me and they would refer all their short sales to me.
Ted and his pocket protector.
Yeah.
And his persnickety attitude.
And we get along just fine. You want data? I will give you a mountain
All
of data.
the data points, yes.
I will give it all to you. And
Pie charts, bar graphs.
yeah. And so I did a lot of short sales, got a lot of deals closed. And I'm back to doing it again. But the thing about the short sales was that I cared about people. And I understood that bad things happen to good people. And that's just a reality. Like if somebody gets sick, that's not because they're a bad person. It's because somebody got sick. And so I always just wanted to help people. And I still do. So I'm back doing short sales. I'm back doing all of that stuff again. There's a lot of foreclosures across the country right now. And one of my investors and I, we helped 13 families last year avoid foreclosure. And that's huge to me.
That is huge.
So I'm always looking to help people. And I do the things that not everybody wants to do.
Sure.
And again, we solve problems. That's the engineering brain that I have. We solve problems. That's what we do. Here's the problem, fix it. Okay.
Yep.
And I love it.
Well, the last year and now this year, they're estimating probably 4.1 million transactions. And it's fascinating when people say, I'm real big on semantics. So when our agents say there's no inventory, it makes me want to throat kick people because every house is inventory. We just have to make it for sale. But more than that, like, can you find the deals that you need inside the 4.1 million? That's the question to ask, right?
Or you go outside the 4.1.
Well, but they lay inside the 4.1 is my point. Like you found the niche that you want to serve. And I'm not saying that when you get here on day one, you need to start to just focus on your niche, because I think that's a problem a lot of freshmen make.
Right. Like
just tab A, slot B, sell houses and work on your niche on the side till it has enough steam to fund your life. For you, though, an important thing that I wanted you to talk about is on the other side of the health scare, like the self-care became an important thing. Yes. And the irony is, too, I don't even know if you're back in your house because you've had a whole bunch of projects in your house. You've been moving out so they can go in and do certain things that are also health related. But what's been most important for you as a solo artist that does the amount of business that you do, that you are making sure that you're not going to burn, not necessarily that what you went through was burnout, but just making sure that you're doing the self-care and taking care of yourself. And because you do not go, a lot of people like, Brad's about to leave for Disney. A lot of people just keep leaving to go on vacation because they take a lot of time off, like Brad and other people. But just kidding, Bradley. But no, you see a lot of realtors and they're just like, they're very purposeful about it. There's no shame in it. They're just like, I'm gone again. I'm gone again. And you should be if you can, and it makes you happy. You are not jettisoning all over the place. You sort of take your little pockets and you do specific things that feed your soul. But what for you did you have to change on the other side of the health scare to make sure that you were really taking care of yourself and not ignoring it?
So one of the things is not driving so much. I still almost, it'll be 2 years in March, or 2 years in May, excuse me, that I've been dealing with this, and I still can't drive more than an hour. And this driving here is an hour and 15. And
I love you too.
It took some time after I got here.
Yeah.
But it's really
we could have sent a car.
It doesn't matter. I'm still sitting.
Could I have Brad pick you up? Is it car sick?
No, I don't get car sick. It's the sitting in one spot puts pressure on my rib cage.
Ah, okay.
I could have got her here in under an hour.
Yeah, we got it. Nathan could have picked you up. You'd be here in 17 minutes.
But it's been learning to listen to my body more. And what caused the issue was mold. in my house that I didn't know was there. I had no way of seeing it or knowing it was there. And so getting that out, and yes, I am back in my house.
We're back in. Okay.
We're back in.
Because I know there was one remediation, then you were out, then you were back in, and then so.
I was out for 3 weeks, and then I was out for 4 weeks. And
I know, because when we have our call, you have that dear friend, and you have that desk set up with a great window, and you're looking at the water. I'm like, oh yeah, she's not in our house.
Nope,
She's
I'm not.
Project number 3. Good for you, though. Good.
But it has really been listening to my body and working with my doctors. And I'm very fortunate that I have a doctor that is not a pill pusher, and he draws information out through regular conversation. And we've worked through a lot of that kind of stuff. I actually just started using my Total Gym again last week. This is the
talk about dating yourself. Total Gym. Hold on. Who was the guy? Who's the guy that does the Total Gym commercials?
Oh yeah.
Is that that wasn't
Texas Ranger?
That was that was what's his name? I can picture him. I can picture him too.
Is it Walker, Texas Ranger?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's the guy. The guy.
Chuck Norris.
It's
Thank
Chuck
you.
Norris.
Chuck Norris. I'm sorry, totally. Well, you had said something earlier about 20 minutes ago. You're like, I'm dating myself here. Like you just said.
Well, but here's the thing.
I mean, Christy, right? Christy Brinkley. Was that
Yes.
they were the ones,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that was the infomercial you and I watched. Yes, we were watching the Chuck Norris
I have
infomercial.
2 Total Gyms in my home gym.
Okay.
And I used to do an hour on the Total Gym every day. And literally, not to do a Total Gym commercial here,
We can.
but
We don't have any sponsors.
my doctor
yet.
literally said
He
if I
hasn't bought
was not
coffee
in the
for
physical
anybody.
condition I was in, I would have died.
Wow. Okay.
He didn't tell me that for a year.
Yeah.
Thanks.
3 more weeks. Wait till you hear what I have to tell you.
But all he kept hearing was, I want to get back on the gym. I want to get back to working out, and I want to get back in the karate studio. That's all he heard. And that was my focus. And as long as that was my focus, he knew I was going to go through whatever I had to go through.
Yeah.
And I was out of work for 6 months, which completely, if you're in real estate, that completely shuts your business down. And my business was screaming. I was closing 3 and 4 deals a month, and it came to a screeching halt. And then I went 10 months without any income at all. And so for any agents watching, you need reserves.
Yeah, because you never think it's going to happen to you, right?
Right. I had no symptoms. When the doctor told me I had pneumonia, I went, I don't have pneumonia. I'm not sick.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. Let me check my schedule. There's no time for that.
It's not on my spreadsheet.
Yeah. CTE.
It was crazy. Like, I was not sick. The day I collapsed, I had showed property in the morning. I did a trash out in the afternoon. I was talking to clients on the phone at 8:30 at night. It was 8:36 p.m. I was on the phone with a client, and I said, I need to get off the phone.
It hit you that
30
quick?
seconds later, I couldn't breathe. 30 seconds later, I was calling for an ambulance. Literally, I was on the phone. I had no symptoms, and
And then boom.
I went down. And calling and reaching out to, I think Jenna was one of my first calls at the office, Jen Vachon. And I'm like, this is what's going on. I need help, and I don't know where to turn. This office was there. Really dark time in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
But I got back up because I don't quit.
Yeah.
You can only fail if you quit. I won't quit. I got back up, and 2025 was not what I would call a great year, because when you go 10 months without income, and you only have 5 months of income in a year, it's not going to be a great year. But in the grand scheme of things, it was a great year.
Yeah. Because I just said that you had a great year in 2025, absent the fact that you get your face kicked in the year before, right? It's like when an agent gets leads from somebody, and they're like, oh, but if I close this lead, it'll pay for itself. But you're not talking about the last 6 months where you didn't close any leads, right? So you did have you had an air gap for sure.
I did.
Yeah. but
I
came
did.
roaring back in 25.
Yes. And 2026, as long as I stay healthy, knock on some wood.
Yeah,
someplace,
for sure.
I am right now slated to go back to I'm back to working out, and I've not had any health issues. So this is the 5th time trying to work out that my body said no. This time it's not saying no.
Good
This
for you.
time my body is finally responding the way it should.
Yeah, good for you.
And I'm currently slated to go back to the karate studio in March.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I will be back.
Because you teach a great self-defense class.
I do.
Yes.
My safety class has a little bit of self-defense in it. I really do want to work on getting one of our black belts in to teach a true self-defense class, because there's so much that people can implement, whether you're walking down the street, walking your dog, or you're showing property. There's so many things that can be implemented. And, there's in my safety class, I talk about how you hold your keys. And for the ladies, I'm like, I don't care what you wear, just don't wear a dress, don't wear a skirt, like wear pants. Leave your purse in the car, lock it in the car. You don't need it. And, and I'll talk about things like, okay, well, I don't carry a purse. And most women have the bigger the better.
Yes, the hobo bag. Yes. Yes. My cat, my husband,
and
my
everything
sink.
gets thrown in. And my question is, if you have 10 seconds to find your keys, can you? I can, because they're right on my pocket. Yeah. Like my hand comes up, and the way that I grab the keys is systematic.
Yep.
Not that I'm an engineer at all.
Yeah.
Brad's over there giggling and
my house key is between the 2nd and 3rd knuckle, and then I jab it between the 6th and 7th rib. It's very specific.
Eyeballs work good.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I wasn't thinking of that. Yeah, well, it's well, first of all, you get a black belt in here, and the office will offer Bradley as tribute. It's like the Hunger Games. Yeah.
Actually, I got to pick on Brad because he came to.
He will be our kickable human for the class. Yes.
Played that game before.
But you came to one of my safety classes. You sponsored
two of them, actually. Yeah, we've done a couple of them together.
And you were my bad guy. And
well, there it is. Straight out of Central Casting.
Well,
who looks shady in here?
It works well too, because I have some martial arts background too. So like the things that she's talking about, I'm like, yep, like check. It's like it checks all the boxes, because she does a very nice job in the class. So.
Of course she does.
And it's fun.
When you were making the comeback, we'll call it in 25, how much of that was like pure joy and like just gratitude that you were on the other side, and how much of it was, I have a lot of work to do to catch up? Because you knew that, and no matter what you did, there was invariably going to be an air gap.
Correct.
But like, what was the mindset behind the passion? And because you were tenacious, like our phone calls, the way you were plugging in, you and Alice, like Fight Club, you're like, I say this respectfully, Alice and you in Fight Club are like furniture. Like, if you're not there, I'm like, we have been ransacked. Who took Alice? So what was the mindset for you on the comeback tour?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Fear. I watched the reserve disappear. I watched the home equity line disappear. And as all the reserves go, with no fluff, literally, after coming here, I had spent 3 years cutting my expenses by 80% from where they were with the team to where they were then. And even at that, watching all of the reserves that had been built, all of the emergency funds, all of everything, watching that disappear, there was only one way forward. And that was Fight Club. And that was 500 to 600 contacts. I didn't care what the spreadsheet said I needed. It was 500 to 600 contacts, because I didn't have the luxury of waiting for a deal. I had to create the deal. And I did 2024, about 50% of my business was done off market. When I started fighting my way back in 2025, I hit as much as 80% off market. It was literally, I have a buyer, I have a seller. You two are going together. We're getting this deal done. I don't need anybody else involved. And that was just what needed to be. I had to get deals done.
What are some absolute truths from Terry Lajoie, like things that just inevitably it's always worked for you, even in other careers or just in your life? Like giving advice to people that are getting started, giving advice to somebody who's doing a reset, giving advice to somebody's walking out of a divorce right now or a health scare. Like, what are the things that you do on a daily basis just to make it work?
I just look at where I'm going. Where you've been, the rearview mirror doesn't matter. It's where you're going. And where do you need to get to? For me, I needed to get to enough income coming in to pay the bills. That's where I needed to get to.
Mm-hmm.
It's don't quit. I won't quit. I'll share a story from years ago. I was learning how to water ski. And the interesting thing was I watched somebody water ski and I wanted to do it. I'm classified as a non-swimmer. I am terrified of the water.
Good combo.
Good combo.
My dad probably baked this into me psychosomatically. He's like, Timothy, we sink. We sink like Irish Catholics, sink like stone. I'll be okay. But like when we go out on the boat, I'm terra firma. Yeah.
Yeah. And the people that were teaching me how to water ski literally had to put a life vest on me and put me in about 4 feet of water and prove to me that the life vest would hold me up.
Yep.
And I learned how to ski the first time I grabbed the rope. Literally the first time I grabbed the rope, I went around the entire lake with my butt on the skis. I never stood up. I came up out of the water, but I never stood up. Then I learned how to ski, and I watched a slalom ski competition on television, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do that." Well, didn't have a camp, didn't have any place to drop a ski, which meant I had to get up on a ski. I spent 9 hours in the lake on a Saturday afternoon, or a Saturday all day, learning to get up, and I drank half the lake.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I went over the front of the ski a couple times and watched it go like right by my head, and I'm like,
"Yikes!" Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Watch it go straight up in the air and kind of like dodge it as it comes back down there. I mean, you name it, I did it. And it was getting towards the end of the day, and everybody in the boat was just exhausted. I'm like,
they were like, Terry, enough.
I'm thinking, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm the one back here on the rope.
You're
right?
eating chop. Yeah.
And I refused to quit. And by the end of the day, I got up on that slalom ski and I went around the lake, and I slalom skied the rest of the summer.
That's awesome.
Each year I would get up on two. I would do one lap around the lake. I'd kick off the two. I'd grab my slalom ski, and I went and bought a really good O'Brien slalom ski, cutting edge at the time. And everybody's like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Because
it was 1982. She just watched the Chuck Norris
I could probably picture
home gym video. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I probably know the ski.
Yeah. But I spent my whole summer on that ski.
Yeah.
And I learned how to carve the wave, and I learned how to do all those things, and it was all self-taught. But I just won't quit. And a number of people have commented on that over the years, that I can get knocked down and I'm just going to brush myself off. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep on going until I can't. I just won't quit. And that tenacity has served me well. And I think if somebody really wants something, if you just don't quit, you will achieve it. It may not happen fast, and you may get knocked back, but you just get back up.
If we're being honest, you're the type of person you'd be successful at any brokerage. You know, we're grateful that you're here, but you'd figure it out wherever you are. The things that jump off the map to you, and whether they're 463 specific or just KW specific, if there's anything that you could share with anybody who checks this out, we've got people watching right now, but anybody who checks it out, what are things that you think get overlooked that are available to a Keller agent that more people should lean into, or that would be, we're definitely, builders for you, things that are very just tab A, slot B. They seem foolish, but yet they're important.
It's for me, it's education. There's at both of the KW offices that I've been at, there's a ton of education. There's education in the market center. There's education at the region. There's education at the national level. There's education through the mega agents out there. There's just so much education, and you choose the direction you want your business to go. So I choose networking. I chose team. I've chosen different paths over the years. And there's always, if you go looking in the KW network, there is somebody who has done that to a very high level that is teaching it that you can learn from. And I spent 3 years at a mastermind group with Ben Kinney and Brian Gubernick, 2 of the 13 pirates. At one point, I had 10 of the 13 pirates in my phone. And I remember an agent that I worked with making a comment about something, and I knew that Kristen Cole had what she needed. And I also knew that Kristen Cole, if you make a donation to her daughter's foundation, Helmets on Heads, that she will give a free coaching call away. And I texted Kristen, it was like 7:00 on a Thursday night or something. And I texted her and I'm like, hey, if I make a donation to Helmets on Heads, can I get a coaching call with you that I can give to a friend who would absolutely love to speak with you? Within seconds, the answer was absolutely. And she's like, just connect us. So I called my friend, or I didn't even call because I knew they were out. I sent a text and I'm like, hey, here's Kristen's number. She wants you to call and book a call with her. It's all paid for. And the agent got up from a birthday party dinner with her family and called me and was just so excited that I had done that for them. But that's the stuff that is here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's in other companies. I don't know.
It's not.
But here,
it's not.
I don't think so. I don't think it is either. But here, like, the top of the top of the top, I've met because of a Keller Williams person. I met Diana Kokoska in person. I've met some very high level people. I know Jason Abrams, and, you know, he's in my phone and he still to this day takes my phone calls. Like, when you can talk to a Kristen Cole, a Jason Abrams, a Diana Kokoska, Ben Kinney, the #1 agent in the world, Brian Gubernick in the top 5, like, you can talk to those people.
Bradley's sister Kate loves Brian Gubernick.
He's amazing.
Well, his eyes, yeah.
Is that the stack guy? No.
Gubernick is commercial. Well, he was definitely commercial at one point.
No.
Gubernick, am I losing my mind?
Yeah, no, he's out in Arizona. He's had a big team, but he was residential.
Was he residential? All right. All I remember.
He might have done some commercial stuff too, but his
blue eyes get to the room 7 minutes before he deceased. Gubernick's like, Terry, should we do a phone call? She's like, I would prefer Zoom.
We can put it on mute. That's fine.
I did coaching with Brian Gubernick for 5 years.
Oh, nice.
I did one-on-one
all
coaching
on Zoom.
with him.
Yep.
But it's I don't know of any other company where you can have relationships with people that are that successful and that high up in the company and have it be normal.
Well, I think the perception in most of corporate America, and certainly in real estate, which is just mind-boggling to me, because the red book that Gary wrote back in 1923 is available on Amazon.
Yes.
Hi Gary. It's a terrible read.
By the way,
It's not a romance novel.
It was the first book I ever bought when I got my real estate license.
Yeah, it's applicable to any industry.
Yeah.
The tenants in it, right? So, and what's fascinating is, like, to your point, like, you're on the phone with all these people, Diana Kokoska, and when we have people like yourself and other top producers at our market center that are willing to come in and be like, here's everything. Right? Because we just know that 100 kids can be in the room and take copious notes. Who's going to go apply it? And above and beyond that, nothing that you're doing is exclusive to you.
No.
Right? We can call it a best practice or an exclusive practice. And, like, you've taken things and made them your own.
Right.
But when, what you're doing, if people peel it away, they're like, oh, okay, here it is. And it's not Gary's. It's, I mean, if we're being honest, and I love Gary, but like you read the one thing, there's a lot of Dale Carnegie in there.
Oh yeah.
It's impossible to not, teach and have it come from the people that you learned from. And the mentality in a lot of companies and a lot of real estate brokerages is, well, I'm not going to let anybody steal my cheese. You're an idiot. Because all of your greatness is stolen cheese. Like we're all standing on the shoulders of the people that came before us. So it's crazy that altruistic spirit doesn't exist everywhere. And not every agent at KW across the planet is that way, but most of the top producers are happy to share.
Right.
Because it's not theirs and they know that.
And it's funny because when I went to Bold, and I've been to Bold, I think 11 times now, and I heard so much of Tony Robbins.
For sure. Yep.
In Bold.
Yep.
There's a ton of Tony Robbins in Bold. And, I followed Tony Robbins for years.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that just all comes together. And I think that's one of the things Keller Williams does really well is they take all of the best practices and they put them into a system that you can follow and you can implement, and anybody can implement it.
Yep.
And you can implement it your way.
Yes. And make it unique. Yep.
It's your system. It's not, oh, you must do A, B, C, D.
Right.
It's not that way.
Yeah. Gary knows there's not a single agent doing the red book.
Right.
From glossary to index. And because it would be an impossibility and you wouldn't be authentic if you were, you know. So before we let you escape, I know that you got to go network. I can see you internally melting. You've been in the same zip code for 3 hours. I feel like I should get a trophy for this.
She's like, it's noontime.
Yeah,
I'm 65 contacts behind.
So one thing though, I want to say, like,
yes, ma'am.
It's hysterical when I come to midday protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I don't get there all the time because a lot of my networking
you're
is
networking,
at lunchtime.
We know. But more often than not, I'll give you credit, and I'll do this because you won't. I will toot your own horn. You will text or email me.
Yeah.
And be like, not going to make it. Here are my numbers. Like, that's how dorky she is, right? And that's just, and all that is you holding yourself to account.
Yeah.
I'm not, I say this all the time when people are like, I tell people to do a 5 at 5. Just shoot me a text at 4:55 and tell me what you did or didn't do, and include another agent. Because if it's just you and the other agent, you guys won't hold each other to account. But put Grandpa Lindsay on it, then they're like, oh, shit, now I got to report in. And I don't get on there and admonish you at 5:05 when I'm home with my family. I'm stuck in traffic cursing New Hampshire. But like, I'm not going to get on there and admonish you, but I'm just going to look at it, maybe give you a awesome or get back to work stupid or whatever. But doing that kind of stuff, all you're doing in that moment is holding yourself to account and checking in. And that's what makes you successful. It's a system for you.
It is, but there's always I always chuckle. When I get onto the midday protocol and you'll say, okay, contacts. And we see the numbers that come in, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll drop a 40 and I can almost hear the ball drop in the room. And people are like, really? But then, I explain because you always ask.
But if people listen to what I say since I last saw you. So my question is, from 1:31 p.m. yesterday to 12:59 today, how many interactions have you had? 40's not a crazy number.
No.
If you, because truth be told, we do the midday protocol at 1 o'clock, because at 1:30 you can go start doing your appointments. If you don't have any appointments, I'll wait for it. Get back on the phone.
Exactly.
Or go network or do whatever you need to do to induce more interactions, to have more appointments, to have more contracts.
Yeah, if you're not interacting with close to that many people in a daytime, then you're trying not to.
Yeah. Well, you're being a secret agent, and then there's one guaranteed thing: if you're a secret agent, you're broke.
Right.
Yeah, and if you've got your systems in place, you meet the people. The first thing is, this is what I do. Love to talk to you some more or whatever your process is, and and then it's check. There's one, especially when you keep track of things so well.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think, and I've said this on midday protocol more times than I can count. The only thing that makes me different from anybody else in that room is that I have a notebook with me at all times. It's in my bag right now, and it's got my contacts. Everybody I talk to gets written down. At the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, I go through my phone and I say, are all of these people that I talked to in my book? No. Okay, I add them into the book because it's so recent. I know what the conversation was. And then I go through my phone and I say, okay, what are all my text messages? And I put those all in there. And if I've had an email that has gone like 3 or 4 times back and forth, because I've booked more appointments through email lately than I ever have. It's crazy. But I'll go back and forth with somebody, and if I book a listing appointment, you think I'm not going to count it because I did it through email?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to count the conversation, and I'm going to count the listing appointment.
Yep.
But I think most people are just not paying attention, and they're not counting it. They're doing the contacts.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
And
I mean, if we're being honest, probably not 50 a day, but.
Well, my best one was when I walked in and I said I did 4 Bold 100s in a day, and everybody went, "What?" You remember the open house? Brad got a frantic call from me the day of an open house, and I'm like, "Is there any way? I need help. Is there any way?" I was fielding 200 calls a day on that property, and we had 350 people that came through the open house.
Oh my God.
And after the open house, I went back and I called all the people that had left me messages while we were at the open house. And I literally had over 400 contacts in that one day and over 1,000 contacts that month.
That doesn't shock me. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy is right.
But again, like Brad I know you had other stuff going on.
That day, you actually... the stars aligned. I mean, 3 kids and my wife and like everything that's going on in my world, like weekends to like go somewhere a lot of times is hard. And you caught me on a day when you were like, I need help.
You
and
hit the Brad lottery.
And I was like, actually, it works out, So I was like, my wife, I think was gonna she had something going on and the kids and I was just like, yep. And it was close too. She was right down the street from where we used to live. So I was like, yeah, I know where you are. I'll see you there.
Perfect.
So,
yeah. And the agent that helped cover ended up with, I want to say they ended up with like 150 leads from that open house. And they're still following up with them. That was last summer.
It's unreal.
Yeah, it was a zoo.
It was a zoo, but it was an organized zoo. We got so many compliments. 350 people. I can't tell you how many agents came up to me at the end and told me how organized it was.
Good.
Crazy.
So it was crazy, but yeah.
You get to go back and talk to day one, Terry Lajoie. What's the advice you give her that might have changed the trajectory? Not that you have any regrets. You've had a great career and you still are going to have a great career, but something that maybe you waited too long for. If you could go back and just give some initial advice to little Terry Lajoie.
Don't be afraid of the phone.
Okay.
I was terrified. I did 19 deals my first year and I didn't call back any leads.
You're freaking killing me right now. Because a whole bunch of people are like, Yahtzee, let's go get lunch. LaJoy crushed you without talking.
Where's Brad?
I spent a bunch of money on leads, and if they called me, I closed them.
Okay.
But realistically, you got to pick up the phone.
When was the tipping point for you that you're like, okay, I'm gonna grab the $80,000 phone?
When I needed to close the business, more of the business, and cut those expenses.
Okay.
Somebody had told me early on, somebody who was not in the business, well, market, and I was spending and this was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
I was spending like $1,500 to $2,000 a month marketing. Well, if money's not coming in, that gets old fast.
Start prospecting. Yeah.
And so I had to learn to pick up the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
And I learned how to work by referral first. And then once I got to KW, there was an agent in my first Bold that actually forced me to sit and script. And I learned scripts and I learned what to say and how to say it. And that was when I got over the phone phobia. And I would say, don't wait. That was 10 years in. Don't wait 10 years to learn how to script and pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and have a conversation. Even if it's not perfect, pick up the phone and have a conversation. Well,
yeah, I think that's a huge concern. People are like, oh, well, I don't want to pick up the phone and talk to my people and be salesy, but then they don't want to pick up the phone because they're afraid they don't know what to say to their friend. Well, what do you just call Julie and say hi and how's Ted? How are the girls? How are the holidays? You're gonna get there. Forward conversation's gonna organically come to fruition.
My favorite way to ask for a referral: if you know anybody that needs my services, please give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
How easy is that?
And if more people would do that, if more agents would just say that to the people they know and love and trust and employ their help, because everybody wants to be part of your story. We just don't let people in because we're busy not stepping on toes. I don't want to be salesy. And, when you get that first call, the come list me, or because one of your friends overheard them talking and then said, you got to call my friend Terry. Like that's when you're clicking on all cylinders. Terry Lajoie, thank you for hanging out. We're gonna let you get back in your 75-minute ride out west. Brad has to go pack his ears, leaving for Disney.
It's gonna be a marathon.
Yeah,
It's gonna be awesome.
it is.
It'll be good.
He brought it upon himself. We'll be back next week. I have no idea who next week's guest is. I don't know if they're booked or not. I think I know who I'm gonna corner. I think we will have the Boyd Watkins in here next week. We were waiting for his boys to matriculate back to university, and I think we are there now.
He called me yesterday.
I think we have Boyd Watkins next week, which will be action packed.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday morning. He started the conversation with, I'm in my PJs. Aiden's back at school.
Wait a minute. I'm in my Mickey PJs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm pissed off. So, or no, actually, that was the other night he called me that. He was like, I'm pissed off and I'm in a bad mood, blah, blah, blah. Because he adores his kids. And
4,000%.
like wants, his happy time is when they're around, know. It's so. Trying to get him beyond that. I'm like, hey, you and the wife can go to Disney. So they're actually, I think, doing a little bit of that, more of that this year.
Yeah.
Because his wife was like, hey, it's great. Now we can spend more time together. And he's like, it's not great.
And nothing against Mrs. Watkins.
No, but he just loves his boys.
I think you heard, in the last few years, you heard the term girl dad come up. He's boy dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's those boys can come home and ask him for anything. He said he is physically and verbally incapable of saying no once they get inside the gates of Disney. They have about 47 lightsabers that they've built at their house. Like, yeah, he's a maniac. I'm pretty sure we're going to have Dr. Boyd Watkins next week. So we look forward to seeing you for that. Terry Lajoie, thank you so much. We'll get you back into traffic. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Have a good one.